make it a better place. It'll take creation, imagination.
Hi everybody, this is Tina with Loving Life's Little Blessings. Welcome to Memory Keeping Friday. And today I wanted to share with you guys Kayla's album. Kayla is 6. She is our oldest and she just started school. She is going to public school this year. She's in 1st grade. And I wanted to show you guys sort of what I've done with some school stuff for her. There's probably a lot of you guys out there that have kids that have just started school and you have a bunch of photos and paperwork that you're starting to get and you're thinking, what do I do with this now? So I will say that Becky Higgins, of course, has done an amazing video on organizing kids' school stuff, and it's really amazing. I've watched it a couple times. I think it just has really great organizational ideas, and especially if you have multiple kids in school. Right now I just have Kayla coming home with all the stuff from school. Violet is in kindergarten and I homeschool her, so I don't necessarily have the overflow of stuff that I have with Kayla going to school. So on my coordinating blog post, I will link that video so you can watch it, and it does have really amazing ideas. I'm not necessarily going to talk about organizational stuff because I'm not there yet. I don't really need anything in that realm. I'm just going to tell you sort of how I went into the school year and tackled it. One of the things I wanted to mention is as I got this album out and I was looking back through, I realized that I'm missing a ton of photos. Like all of February, I have no photos for Kayla. I have no idea what happened, but like there's the end of January and then here's February with no photos. And then here's March with 3 photos. And then in April, I'm missing a photo. So I just wanted to show you guys that to say, like, I by all means don't have it to get all together. Like, I didn't even know I was missing photos for her. I thought her album was up to date. So for Kayla's album, I've used a lot of the Stampin' Up products, a lot of the Project Life by Stampin' Up cards. It has made it really easy. This is June, and these cards are all cards from Stampin' Up. They're the Stampin' Up Project Life cards. It is I want to say it's the Happiness Is kit, and I'm not terribly positive about that, but I think it is. And then here again in July, the beginning of July, again, I'm just using Project Life by Stampin' Up. It just made it really easy. Those kits, I got those kits and I was looking through them and they were just perfect for her album. So July starts, and then, so here I just do one spread per month, basically, for my kids' album. So if you're new to watching my channel, the way I do it is each child has a physical 12 by 12 album, and I basically do one spread per month. Now, if it is a month where we have a lot going on, or it is the month of their birthday, I do 2 spreads per month for those. But just to keep it simple for myself, one spread that is 8 to 9 photos or more if I put photos here in the middle. And that gives us a good overview on what was going on with their life. And then I do the journaling, and if I need to, I add inserts. So for July, you can see I just used the Project Life by Stampin' Up core kit. And I really loved this. This is one of her really good friends. And I loved this card, We Go Together Like. And it lists all these things. And I thought it was so cute for that photo. So next we jump into August, which I have a photo for here, but I just took it out for filming purposes. It was her in her bathing suit. And so all of August is done as far as I've been keeping up on photos, and I just got them printed and I knew everything was in here. So August is when we started school. So the first thing that happened is she had a checkup, and I cut design a page protector in half, and this is my absolutely favorite thing to do. If you have extra photos to add, the easiest thing you can do is just trim down a design A, and then you have 4 4x6 photo slots and then 4 3x4 photo slots. So that makes it perfect. So this was her checkup for school, and I have to do some journaling and slip in a card, but I picked 4 photos. So that was right before school started. And then, so basically, let me just show you guys. So basically, this right here is August, and this is August. Then these are all the inserts for August. So she had a doctor checkup visit insert. So then this is her school stuff. So this is what I wanted to show you guys. So again, the core kit that, I'm not using a core kit, I'm sorry. The product I'm using is the Stampin' Up Project Life, and this is the Playground. All of these came from the Playground kit, and they were perfect. They're very school, child, playground oriented. So this is her first day of school in line with her, the kids from her school, and then there's this card. Then I did these cards. This is a photo of us getting her treat bags ready for the first day of school, and you guys, I shared these on my website earlier in the month. These were her little goodie bags that I made, and we just slipped candy in them. I made 30 of them. There's only 18 kids in her class, so I had a ton left over. So what I did, I just folded one and put it in this pocket. So later on, I obviously will not do that with every single treat bag I make for her school, but just in this case, I actually had extra left over, so I just slipped it into this pocket. This was her before we left that morning to take her to school. So I did, this was a 4x6. This was a design A insert. Okay, so I just did that. And then this was her going into her classroom, all these fun cards. This was her in her classroom. This card was a card that I got from a different brand of pocketed scrapbooking, and I do not remember what it was, but I do remember pulling that out and setting it aside. And then this is a Stampin' Up page protector, and it is an old one, so it doesn't have a number on it, but it is design P with Becky Higgins. So she has this exact same design, and it's letter P. So it's the 4x4 slots. Again, this was Stampin' Up cards because we have the 4x4 cards, so it was perfect. The this photo and this photo were snapped on back to school night, so that is a tip I have for you guys. A few of these, like her going into her classroom, her in the classroom, her at her desk, those were that morning I took those photos. However, there's a bunch of these that didn't necessarily happen that exact day, but they were her going to school, her story. So this is a snapshot of the board, and it tells their schedule. So I thought that was when I saw that when I went in for back to school night, I knew I wanted a photo of that because that's their day, and it'll be neat for her to look back and see what she did for first grade, what her schedule was. This was some books that the teacher had up that they would be reading during the year, so I snapped a photo of that. This was her second day of school when her daddy dropped her off. He snapped this photo, so that worked out. On the back side is the very first book she came home with, her name in it. This was some of her first, it was her very first envelope that we have Tuesday envelopes. So her very first envelope contained a few items, and so I just laid them out and snapped a photo of them. And then this was her first day of school, and then this was the outside of that book, which this is the inside, that's the outside. This was one of the papers she came home with. Now, I'm not going to be doing this for every single piece of paper she comes home with. It's just these were some of her first items, so I really wanted to put them into her album. So this was a page she did. This was some of her work that she did. And then I inserted a design E. And this is one of my favorite designs, and I just cut this down. So this was a drawing that she did, and I cut it down. This was her first calendar, and this was actually her daddy, when he took it off the fridge, he was like, don't you want to keep this? Because it was her very first calendar, and I actually hadn't planned on keeping it. But I thought it was neat that when he took it off the fridge, it was something that he thought would be neat for her to keep. So I just folded it into a 6x6 square, and I wrote on here Kayla's first month of first grade. And then it just slips right in here really nice. The next thing down here are her hands. Every year I draw her hands and I put them together with a little brad. I write her name and the date that we did it, and then I cut them out. And this year I slipped them into this pocket. If you look back in her album, here are her hands from kindergarten. And they're right in there, in that pocket. And then this is just some of her work. So that's what's in those. This is a picture of her desk. I just slipped it in there, and then I'll just back this with cardstock over here. You can see, like, I'll probably put a piece of cardstock here and here. I might move this photo over to this, I don't know. And then that, she'll still have photos from the rest of the month. So that's pretty much what I did for her school. That's all this, really all of the extra stuff I'll put in there. There's not very many other things that I'll put in there. We have a little spot in my office. It's a little basket, and every Tuesday when she brings her folder home, I clean it out and I stick all of her work up there, and I'll go through it. I don't know when, but probably eventually I'll go through it and throw some stuff away, and then we'll keep a little bit of it. I'm not real big on keeping every single thing. We just don't have space in our life to do that, so I'm really okay with getting rid of certain things. And then she will be starting a brand new album in January. So this has 2 full years in it, and I'm very happy with being able to get 2 full years in it. You can see right here, I've showed this before, but I often get questions on it. I just tab all of our kids' album. I just tab, like, this is all of 2013. This is all of 2014. She has a little envelope back here of a few things, and then that will just go on the shelf. And I'll probably go to a solid color this next year. This was, I really thought I would like it, but I don't know, I don't like the way it looks on the shelf. So I think I'll go to a solid color. I'll probably let her pick a solid color, and then it will be her color. So anyways, that's Kayla's album. I hope you guys have enjoyed seeing it. There's photos on my website with my coordinating blog post. You can get to that by just clicking up top and heading right over to my website, and then you can see the photos for this. So if you guys have any other questions, please just feel free to ask them, and I will for sure answer them. And thanks so much for coming by. I will talk to you guys next Monday with a creative challenge post. Thanks, guys.